Hi guys, welcome to another WonderHero video. So today I'm gonna talk about the obviously the NFT Burn event, but it's been quite a few days. It's been actually 6 days since they released the NFT Burn event. So I'm not gonna like really talk about the hype about it because quite a few content creators have already created content about the burning mechanism, what it does, and so on. So you probably know what it is. I've actually covered the NFT burning mechanic even before they released it, when during the AMA as well as the on the announcements and so on. So what I want to discuss today is is it worth it to burn the NFTs, or is it worth it to keep the NFTs, for other purposes, maybe staking, or in my opinion, I think it's more worth it to keep it for scholarships. Okay, so let's take a look at the burn mechanic, right? So there's two. Event one is where you can put in a number of NFTs, like for example, there's 23, right? So if you put in 23, you have a 23 out of 30% chance to draw a wonder box. But there is a small chance, even if you put in 23 NFTs, the previous people who put in the 7 NFTs, right, they also have a percentage chance of drawing the wonder box. So you can obviously put one, then your probability is only 1 out of 23, right? So obviously if you put a calculator, if you put 1, then you divide it by 30, sorry, 1 out of 30, then you have a 3% chance, right, of drawing a wonder box. So that is if you burn your just one single NFT, right? I think by burning one NFT, you get a little bit of horn. Let's see, right? Do they state how much horn you get? No, I think it was like a very small amount of horn if you contribute an NFT and you don't get the wonder box. Do they say it here? No, they don't. What do you use? Oh, they do not state it here. Raw records, my price, my refund. But yeah, they don't say how much amount of coin you get if you actually just contribute one NFT. So obviously the better way is to do event 2, right? Which is gather 30 NFTs and then burn it, all 30 of them, for a single wonder box. And then among the wonder box, I mean, maybe you can get something rare, right? And then maybe that can be something of value. But let's say if you are like, no, you don't have that much NFTs and you're thinking, what if, because the market is cheap, right? So what if I buy NFTs from the market and then I burn them for a single wonder box? How much would that cost me? So very straightforward. Let's say floor price. You can see that the floor price actually has not raised much since the 1st April launch of the Burn NFT. Floor price is still 5. It hasn't like raised much at all. So you could technically just spend your money, buy all 30 pieces of equipment, whatever it is that you can grab, skins, weapons, whatever it is, right, of whatever hero that you want to grab, and then 30 of them and then burn them. So very simple, 30 multiplied by 5, you're going to spend 150 USDT in order to get one guaranteed wonder box. Among the wonder box, are the rewards really worth 150 USDT? It's random, right? For example, like this one example here, like this guy is quite lucky, right? He gets I think this is a very rare Helen 5-star weapon, but it's not a set weapon, right? It's not a green weapon. The rest of the equipment pieces, not really worth it. The Helen skin 4-star, maybe not worth that much as well. So is this worth 150 USDT? If you get this particular weapon, yes. Most likely you might be able to sell it for above 150 USDT, depending on whether there's demand for it. But other than that, I mean, there's a chance that you don't get such a good box, right? Because I was given a wonder box. I won a wonder box before from the YouTube SARS event. So from there, I actually did get a wonder box, but I didn't get any legendary weapons. I only got like a 3-star weapon, which was, it has pretty good stats for Shion, but I didn't get any legendary weapons. So there's definitely a chance that the wonder box is definitely not worth 150 USDT from the current market price. So we don't state too much of it. Yeah, there isn't too many examples of it, examples of the reward. So that means buying is out of the question. So obviously if you have the NFTs yourself, you have 30 of them, and then you want to like burn them, because since you can't sell it, right, because you are listing all your NFTs on the marketplace, maybe your NFTs are not of a very good stats, or the market demand is just not there. So NFTs are just sitting there unable to be sold, and you have as many as 30 of them. Then you want to burn 30 of them for one Wonderbox, maybe. But my opinion is that rather than no spending that 150 USDT worth just to get one Wonderbox, why don't we use all these NFTs to start scholarship accounts, right? So here's an example of the scholarship account, the ROI of my first scholar. So my first scholar here, some of you guys have seen it in some of my previous videos on my main channel. I think this video is probably going to go on the AlpineFIST channel. So on my main channel, you've probably seen this before. This is actually how much I spent for this scholar, right? I only spent 35.2 USDT buying, I think, like three hero skins and 3 hero weapons at the floor price back then. I started in the beginning of March, right? So beginning of March, this is only like exactly just a few days after 1 month. So among the NFT sales, so among that 1 month, right, he actually managed to play enough to hit player level 6. So he managed to get to play PvP. And from there, he can actually spend his horn and a little bit of WND to actually upgrade his equipment and fulfill the weekly quest as well as the daily quest. Then from there, he actually got the weekly loot boxes, and he got some of them which are pretty decent, and I managed to sell some of them, right? I can see I sold a Dark Sorceress skin. I think this is is it a Shion skin? I think so. A Scarlet Demon was a Yoroi Kim skin, and then a Receptionist made with the Helen skin, which I sold for 9.5, 4.75, and which I sold for 11.4, 4.75, and 9.5 USDT respectively. Oh, he also got equipment piece for Tears Off. So some of the drops, he got it just from playing in the game itself, right? Because when you actually play every chapter, there's a chance that not only there's a chance of dropping horn, there's a chance of the game giving you loot boxes as well. So he got an equipment piece from that Tears Off, which I sold for 4.75, which is the floor price, right? 5 USDT. Then we only get 95%, 5% goes to as commission charges for the WonderHero team. So from there, we earn 30.4 because this is a total of all these, right? So I'm gonna just zoom in. So this is a total sum of all these sold pieces. And from selling his tokens, I actually haven't sold any of his horn tokens recently because I'm actually keeping it in, because since the scholar probably needs to use the horn token to upgrade to complete his weekly quest, so I didn't plan on selling his horn. But from previously, so selling his horn on the 7th as well as 18th of March, he also earned 7, right? 7 USDT. So if we were to calculate 7.07 plus what he earned from the sales of his equipment NFT pieces, he has earned 30.4. So he actually, in total, he earned 37.47. So his account has actually fully ROI, right? Fully reached their return on investment. Obviously, my agreement with the scholar is that we split these earnings 50-50. So technically speaking, I haven't ROI, right? I'm still 50% away from fully ROIing my own investment into his account. Obviously, there's another caveat is that when he reached PvP, right, I actually transferred some of my existing skins as well as some of my existing weapons from my main account into his scholar account. So to give him a sort of an upgrade, because he needs 4 player skins as well as 4 player weapons in order to play PvP. And that was a bit of a boost. So I didn't factor in the value of those transferred NFTs, because since those NFTs are not sold, I technically don't know what is the value for it, right? Because they're not sold, there's no market value. But so my point is this: if you are starting scholarship accounts, right? If you're using your existing NFTs, let's say you have a lot of like 30 NFTs, right? And in excess, that means you have tons of hero weapons, tons of hero skins, and tons of equipments. Wouldn't it be a better idea to roll over and start like maybe you can start close to, because if you have 30, and let's imagine 30, let's imagine each account, right, needs 12 NFTs, right? Not really. 4 hero skins, 4 weapons, so it needs 8. So maybe 10, right? So let's say 10, and maybe you transfer like 2 equipment pieces to them. So each account has 10. That means out of 30, right, if you divide by 10, you could start actually 3 scholarship accounts with your 30 extra NFTs. And this means you don't need to buy from the market. But obviously, sometimes the caveat is that some of your NFTs don't fully match, right? Like maybe you have for example, you have some of the NFTs, you have a jeweler skin, but you have like 2 or 3 jeweler skins, but you have no jeweler weapons. So you have to go into the market to buy a jeweler weapon. But obviously, the floor prices for jeweler weapons is really cheap, right? 5 USDT and so on. So you could just spend a little bit of money, and then you could like populate them with full sets, and then you can start scholarship accounts for people to play. So the value of starting scholarship accounts is that it is very low in cost, so very low investment, because if you are using existing NFTs, it's zero investment. And even if you have to like top up to buy some extra NFTs to like complete the sets, the hero skins as well as the weapon sets, it's not a big investment, right? Because the floor price, most of them are like 5 USDT and so on. So very small investment. The returns obviously aren't fantastic, right? But there is returns, right? So over a month, this scholar account of mine has actually earned 30 USDT, right? When you round down, it's still 30 USDT. So for very minimal investment, that means the second month, right, that he plays is actually pure profit. And the third month that he plays is also pure profit because the account has fully broken even. So if you're starting scholarship accounts with very low investment, actually you stand to gain, right? So you stand to gain. So this is another way of like recycling your NFTs per se. Start new scholarship accounts, give it to other players who really need it, because there are so many players from countries with a much lower average income, right? Because I'm from Singapore, our average income is rather high among the world. So it's not a big issue for me to like spend like $100 or $200 on an NFT game. So for full disclosure, I'm still actually down as much as 800 USDT. So this is my total spend. I've spent 1,400 USDT on the game since launch, and I've only earned back 654 from selling the NFTs. So I'm actually still down 1,800 here, right? I'm down 800. From the tokens, I've earned 200 USDT. That's when the tokens price was higher. So I'm technically still down 600 USDT. This is okay for me, right? 600 USDT for me, because I'm coming from a country with a higher average earning income, it's much easier for me to earn that money back. So it's not that big deal for me. But for countries with much lower average income, like Philippines, maybe other South American countries, that this really makes a big deal for them, right? Because they really cannot afford having USDT to play at all, and they do. And when you give them scholarship accounts for free, you're essentially giving them like side job, right? A side hustle that they can earn a little bit of income from. Obviously, this income is not fantastic, right? Like 30 USDT a month, or if you split it in the half, right? So my scholar earns about maybe 15 USDT a month. It's not fantastic money, right? But it is still a little bit of income for them, and it still makes a difference to their lives. That they can they can save up the money, they can save up the crypto, or they can buy a little bit more better food with it, buy some clothes, or whichever it is, right? So it still helps. My idea, what I'm trying to say is that it still helps the scholars per se. And there are many people that are applying for scholarships. If you look at WonderHero Discord alone, you look at scholars, right? So see, there are so many people that are applying every single day. People are applying. A lot are coming from the Philippines, because play to earn is really big there, because their average income is not really high. And with the popularity of Axie Infinity in their country, play to earn games have really gained popularity, because it shows them that, okay, it is definitely possible for them to play games on their mobile phone and then earn a little bit of be it as a side hustle, and earn a bit of income as well. A lot of my scholars themselves, they are students, tertiary students, college students, so they are not out in the workforce yet. So they have no ability to earn a full income yet. So obviously they can do part-time jobs, but it's going to take up a lot of their time away from the studies. And I think the situation for these people in the Philippines as well is that the vaccination rate is not really high, because their country is actually not that well off to provide a lot of vaccines to that many people in the country. So their vaccination rate is not high. The country has not really opened up. It's not that easy for them to go out and just work, right? So job opportunities are low. So any opportunity for them to earn any sort of side income, I mean, especially when they're playing a game, when you're just playing a game from the safety of their own home, they don't have to go out, be at risk of contacting the pandemic, the coronavirus. And at the same time, they can earn a little bit of income. Just everything is digital. It really appeals to these people, right? So like you can really help a lot of people with scholarships. So end of the day, as I mentioned, my stance is that no, I'm not really seeing the value of burning 30 NFTs just for one wonder box. Instead, I see the value of recycling the NFTs, having existing NFTs, even if you're not able to sell them. At least if you don't want to start scholarships, you don't want to go into the hassle, you can always have the option to stake, right? This is what I love about the the WonderHero game and the devs. They give you a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different ways to earn income from your NFTs, right? You could sell them, you could stake them, or now you could recycle them. You could burn them for like additional NFTs, right? WonderHero boxes, more higher rare NFTs. In the future, we are going to see the NFT stat reroll, so that will be huge as well. There will also be the biochip system, which is going to come in. So I don't know whether will they be using NFTs to get the biochips, or they will be spending Horn and WND to get the biochips. Probably using tokens to get biochips. And then my suggestion now is that you could like recycle the NFTs and start scholarship accounts, and then make scholarship accounts to benefit many other players, right? Players from lower income countries, people who are not well off because of the pandemic situation. Not everybody is as fortunate as I am in my own country in Singapore to have a high vaccination rate, and such that the pandemic is no longer a deadly disease. Then we can actually go out and work. Employment opportunities are plentiful. We have a high average income. Not every country is this fortunate, right? So by recycling your NFTs, you could definitely make a difference there. Okay, so I hope this is so I went on a bit of a rant there. I hope this is helpful or useful to anyone who's watching. So it just gives my opinion on how to use the excess NFTs that you have, and we hope to see you guys next time.